night 2 of a record-breaking snow onslaught.
Never seen it snow like this in Seattle.
I just popped.
Oh, we're gonna have a baby.
We need to go to the hospital.
But we can't.
Half a foot of snow is rendered every road useless. My 6-year-old patient will die without that liver. Right now, I'll go.
How are you going to get there?
I'll walk.
People are freezing to death.
No response from DeLuca.
Station 19 Grey's Anatomy, The Blizzard, next Thursday on ABC.
Hey guys, so I am very excited to discuss A Diagnosis. I thought it was a really good episode. Not the best episode of Season 16, but a good episode. More than just background noise. I really think you need to pay attention for this episode. I really did like it. But I think next week, titled Snowblind, will be very, very good. I'm a little bummed out that I'm actually going to be away next Thursday and I won't be able to cover it until the week after. So we're going to have to get another video where I discuss episode 15, episode 16, and the trailer for episode 17. So I apologize to do that type of video style where it's like a 3-part discussion, but I will be out of the country. So anyway, let's talk about A Diagnosis. First off, I literally don't care about Station 19. The bear attack from the trailer for last week, and I hated the trailer for last week, you know, which was for this episode, was 100% focused on the Station 19 bear attack. Don't care about it. It was trying to elicit emotions from me, especially when the husband died who lost his nose. It made the wife, you know, obviously very upset, but we found out the wife was cheating on her husband, so it's like, are you sad that her husband died even though she's a cheater? I mean, personally, I don't care about Station 19, so I'm already at a negative point for that character being in this episode, and then you have her be a cheater, so it makes me dislike the character, and then the husband dies. And it's like, okay, let's just like wipe the slate clean. I'm like, nope, that's not how it works. I don't like her. So I literally did not care about the Station 19 crossover with this episode at all. And I felt really bad that Joe and Jackson were the ones dealing with the patients who were the victims of the bear attack. Honestly, they just felt so useless. And speaking of useless, Owen was especially useless in this episode as well. The only thing I liked that happened with Owen was his awkward conversation with Link. And Link himself is feeling very useless, and his character was useless. He was just moping the entire time. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for this guy. One thing that I did like about this episode with the characters that I essentially felt that were useless was that Joe planted the seed that the baby could be Owen's in Owen's mind. So I did like that, though I don't think Owen is thinking anything of it. He's just, you know, he wants to go back home to Teddy. And speaking of, where's Kim Raver? It has been 3 episodes. Episode 12, episode 13, and now episode 14. Kim Raver has been absent. What is going on, ABC, where you are excluding Teddy? She's a great character, and you have a great actress to play her. I don't like how she's been excluded. But though she is in next week, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Kim when we get to the trailer discussion. So, essentially we have Joe, Jackson, Link, more or less, but Link's tied into that storyline and to Amelia's, and Owen all dealing with the bear attack. Honestly, the patient died. That was it. And that's like the storyline I don't think people would really pay much attention to. I think the 2 storylines that are going to be paid attention to are the Amelia-Maggie storyline, which I loved, and the Meredith DeLuca storyline with Bailey and Richard being supporting characters for that storyline. So let's talk about Maggie and Amelia. I loved them together. I wanted more scenes of them. I think their bonding is great. The chemistry between Kelly McKeary and Katerina Scorsone, excellent. They truly feel like sisters. I love the comments that how sisterly they are, like just for themselves. I love when Amelia is being comforted by Maggie. It's a really great storyline that we had. And at the end of the episode, when Link came to the house and he said he kind of just wants to reconcile with Amelia, and she's like, I'm done with you. That bothered me because I feel that Maggie would never counsel Amelia to end the relationship with Link because she told Amelia how Link felt. And so I didn't like that Amelia still won't do the test. I don't agree with that opinion. And I don't like the fact that she ended her relationship with Link. Amelia she's not a character who I think can hold solid relationships with romantic partners. She's able to hold a relationship with Meredith, but that was tentative, or it had its ups and downs, so at the moment it's in a good spot. Her relationship with Maggie's never been in question, but I don't like what happened with Link at the end of it, but I really did enjoy every scene that Maggie and Amelia had. I thought they were really sweet. So now I have a quick note to discuss Glasses and Nico Kim. I have to discuss them every week because during the episode I like to talk about every character at least once or twice. Honestly, first off, I hate the fact that Nico's a hypocrite. He's a super hypocrite. And I didn't care about the fact that Glasses was sad that he wasn't going to meet his parents. There. I don't like these two as a couple. I don't like the two actors. I think, again, Glasses is much better in comedy. I think that I'm blanking on the actor's name. Jake Borelli. I believe that Jake Borelli, you know, he has good moments, but I just don't think he's a dramatic actor, and this role is just not for him. He would have been a fantastic supporting role on The Big Bang Theory or even in The Office, but this isn't for him. Anyway, I don't care. I didn't care about the storyline at all, and I don't care to see where it goes. Another thing, just to wrap it back to Alex really quick, I love how upset Joe is about Alex, and I want to know what's going on with Alex, but I don't understand why the show won't tell us now. It's been several weeks since Justin Chambers has left the show. I don't get why we're still waiting to find out about Alex. The bear attack, you know, is like what made Joe call Alex and be like, hey, Alex, like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And then that ending scene, I made a note to talk about it at the end, but we'll talk about it now. The ending scene with Alex not texting Meredith back, like you see the iMessage bubbles, and then it vanishes. I thought, oh God, something's going to happen. So stuff will go down, I assume. I don't think it's going to be in Snowblind. I just don't feel that episode is a caveat for the reveal of Alex's storyline. I think episode 16 kind of could fill that void, because that's like the repercussions from the snowstorm. But the fact that we don't see Alex answer her is interesting as well. So I do feel bad for Joe. I guess that was the only good thing about the station storyline, is it made Joe call Alex, but we still got no closure about it. We did hear Alex's voice, so that does make me wonder how Justin Chambers left the show. Sometimes when actors leave properties, if they leave on bad terms, they don't want their likeness used in any way, shape, or form, including their voice. So I do wonder how Justin did leave the show, because it was so abrupt, and Alex doesn't have abrupt enough because he's no longer in any episodes. Now, let's talk about the quadruple storylines. That will be Meredith, Luca, Bailey, and then we also have Richard as a subsection of Bailey, and we have Karina as slightly supporting, along with our new Deaf Doctor and Stephanie. Now, the Deaf Doctor, I liked this episode. Granted, I'm really happy she's only in 2 episodes, but I really did like her a lot. And I'll talk about Bailey and Richard real quick. Essentially, Bailey's comforting Richard. She feels bad for him because his marriage has collapsed. Richard's in a funk. I honestly feel that if this was the final season, this could lead to Richard quitting the hospital. Like, he just feels that he's done. It'd be kind of negative to end such a great character, but I could see it going that way. But I really just love the support that Bailey has for Richard, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Richard is going to handle it. I liked how he said, like, the residents of Pac North are kind of not worth the time of the Seattle Grace or the Grace Sloan doctors. I was like, whoa, but it just shows how bad Pac North was. Either way, I enjoyed like how Bailey got to deal with Richard, and then also deal with Meredith and DeLuca. So I love the fact that Meredith is essentially caring for DeLuca this entire episode. Everything that she did was out of love for DeLuca. I love the fact that Meredith was trying to set up pro bono work. I don't like the fact that the new peds doctor is like popping up in everything that Meredith does. I don't care for that in the slightest. I don't like him. I don't want him around. Like, go away. Like, we don't need you on the show. DeLuca's panic over Stephanie, intense. I think that Giacomo is in his element right now. I really feel this whole storyline is giving him a lot to do. I feel like the character of DeLuca is really being fleshed out. And then I really love the Karina Meredith chemistry. I think Stefania and Ellen have an excellent chemistry. I really liked how they were chatting. It's like, we have a sister and a girlfriend, 2 very important female roles in a man's life. And then, you have Karina saying how their father, went insane. And we met their father in season 15. So I did like that quite a bit. And it made Meredith very concerned. And she went to Bailey. And I love the Meredith and Bailey scene that spiraled. And then I really loved the scene with DeLuca and Bailey, that spiral from that. I thought that scene was intense. Like, I really, really like that. They figured out what was wrong with Stephanie. I thought that was interesting. And then, DeLuca is mad at Meredith because Meredith took the case away because he was not sleeping. But she's concerned about him. And she's doing it out of love and to also make sure her resident doesn't kill anyone. But DeLuca views it as, I don't want to call it like a threat, but he doesn't view it like Meredith cared for him. Either way, I like how the whole story, how it closed. Like Stephanie was good, but then I didn't like the fact that DeLuca broke up with Meredith. Like, come on, man! Like, this is Meredith Grey. You love her. You were through so many ups and downs in season 15 to be with her, and then season 16 you were with her for so long, and then you're kind of like went on a break, and now you're officially broken up. Like, I don't care for that. Like, there's no way their breakup is gonna last that long, and I also just don't see any chemistry with Meredith and the Irish Doctor. However, I will say the blow up in the hall reminded me very much of earlier seasons, particularly when like Meredith and Derek would fight in public, or any Doctor really fighting in public. I feel like we haven't had like a big blow up in a while, but it particularly reminded me of Meredith and Derek fighting in the halls, or even that one scene back in season 2 where it was Addison and Derek and they fought in front of everyone. However, those fights were always personal, not professional. This one was 99% personal, but professional, but ended on a personal note, being that DeLuca broke up with Meredith. Either way, I really like that fight scene quite a bit as well. So, and then the final scene I already spoke about with Alex, but I really did also like the fact that there might be hope for Jaggy. I ship Jaggy. I think Jackson and Maggie have a great chemistry. Kelly McKeary, Jesse Williams, fantastic. Jesse Williams was barely utilized, but I'm really happy here he got to at least interact slightly with Kelly McKeary, so I did like that quite a bit. Last thing, I do hope that Bailey gets to adopt Joey. I think that he's really sweet, and I think that Bailey has a great connection with him, and I'm glad that he's in the trailer for next week's episode. So, I really enjoyed episode 14. I thought A Diagnosis was a fun episode. There's a lot going on in it. It's intense. It's much better than the last 2 episodes we've had, and I'm really glad I got to discuss it right after the episode aired. So I really want to know your thoughts about the console. It's more than just background noise. I think you really need to watch it. I think that a lot of people will enjoy it. I don't think it will make top 10 list of season 16, but it definitely deserves an honorable mention. So let's talk about the trailer for Snowblind. First off, this is a fantastic trailer. It's not just Station 19. Is it? I mean, granted, I said it was fantastic, but does that mean it was one of the best season 16 trailers? No, because the one issue with it is we still have a couple seconds that is devoted to Station 19. Those seconds could have been avoided to show us what's going to be happening with Teddy and Owen, or anyone else. Like, there was no reason for the Station 19, but it's the crossover. So let's read the description and then briefly talk about the trailer, because I did think it was excellent. Not like the most amazing trailer, but it was fantastic is the word, because I think our level for fantastic has been brought down quite a bit, because the last several trailers have been just Station 19 and we're like, what? So the fact that we have at least 15 plus seconds of Grey's Anatomy is what makes it fantastic. So, Meredith and Karina question DeLuca's uncharacteristic behavior when he volunteers to perform a life-threatening task during a blizzard. Meanwhile, Bailey tries to help Joey with his future, while Richard trains new interns at the hospital. So Richard training new interns goes back to episode 14, where he's dealing with the new people from Pac North. So we haven't seen that, but I like the fact that it's mentioned. We saw it last week. It's on the trailer or any of the photos prior to this week's for episode 15. But I do like that it's mentioned. That's a storyline. Maybe one of these interns will perk Richard up. I think he's in a funk. So maybe some fresh actor or actress will make a good storyline. Who knows? I care for Richard, but I want his marriage to be rectified. I don't need him to have a distraction. We just need him to work it out with Catherine. So one thing I really like about the trailer, but I also don't like, is that it's fully based, or excuse me, the entire trailer very much encompasses what's going to be going on in the episode. So we don't see Karina and Meredith talk in the trailer, but the main crux of this trailer is DeLuca volunteering to go out in the snowstorm and risk his life for the new Pete's doctor's patient. And that's the uncharacteristic behavior. So the conversation between Meredith and Karina, I can only imagine it's going to be one scene like it was last week or tonight. I can't imagine it'll be several scenes. But, the trailer to the description matches very well, which I like. However, it had those other 10 or so seconds that were based on Station 19. If they were Grey's Anatomy, we would have had something else to dissect. Bailey trying to help Joey with his future. We at least see Bailey talking to Joey. Granted, she's talking about the storm, but we know that it's going to happen. So I like the fact that it more or less matches up, and I'm excited for it. I think that disaster episodes are some of the best episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Natural disasters, I can recall rain, fog, and wind. Wind was mid season 15, and then we had Fog, which was the end of season 15, excuse me, and then we have The Rain, which was in season 12. There's been several natural disasters, but it's also been other big disasters like the ferry ship crashing, the plane crash, the hospital shooting. Big, impactful moments are what Grey's is known for, and I hope that this episode, lives up to that hype. I mean, there's a lot riding on this episode, at least just in terms of, precedent. I mean, disaster episodes are some of the best known episodes. Most likely talked about. Like when I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy, I knew about the plane crash episode because 2 people died. It's a plane crash. I knew about the shooting. Granted, I knew about Derek when he was dying, that is a disaster for one character, but it's not a disaster overall. But a plane going down, a hospital shooting, those are really, really well known events, and then the public knows about them, but not just Grey's Anatomy fans. I think that Grey's Anatomy fans now are the only ones that really probably know about the windstorm and even the rainstorm when April had Harriet. But for Grey's fans, and we're very big. It's not a niche audience in any sense of it. We should have high expectations for Snowblind, and I think it will do it. From the photos, from the trailer alone, I'm excited, and from the promotional photos, I think they're really, really well done. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm curious how sick DeLuca is going to be, because episode 14, it started the plot that he could have his father's diagnosis, but does he? And I really hope he doesn't. But it'd be interesting if he does have it, that if they catch it early, that they can essentially give him medication to control it, so that way he won't spiral like his father did. So, as I said, I think this season is really great for Giacomo. Giacomo came on the scene in season 12, and his character's been great. But this is really bringing him to his own. It's going to give him his own thing, like him struggling with mental illness, him struggling, in season 14 he struggled with the loss of his girlfriend, but so many characters have struggled with the loss of a loved one. This is a mental illness. Bailey struggled with this. It was very impactful for Bailey, and we've dealt with. It's been a continuing plot for several seasons since her mental illness, her OCD. I think this will be really good with DeLuca for the rest of season 16 and season 17, provided that Giacomo is a main character. In episode 14, I just want to mention, I really do think Meredith felt like a main character, which I really appreciated, and it looks like she's going to be front and center in this episode. I don't care about her chemistry. I don't care about her interactions at all with this Pete's doctor. I like the fact that there's like a Pete's storyline, but I want Arizona and I want Alex. I don't want this new guy, but I like the fact that Meredith is very much involved, but they're trying to ship Meredith in McWidow. I don't ship it. I don't ship McWidow, and I don't ship Smiko. I ship Mariluka, and that's the couple I want back. So, I thought the trailer for Snowblind is fantastic for what we got. I'm looking forward to watching it. I won't get to watch it next Thursday because I will be away. I will cover it the week after with episode 16 and the trailer for episode 17, so I do apologize for that in advance. So share your thoughts about the trailer for Snowblind in the comments below, and for episode 14, A Diagnosis. I very much enjoyed both, so I'm looking forward to talking with you guys in the comments, and thank you so much for watching my video. Alright guys, bye.